Right, so I did delete Maxx, so the next deck up is Professor Teklo, so it's fine. We'll find a game. Again, we're just going for Singularity, right? We have the easiest setup, I believe, with Professor because of the -1. And basically, we can get around the whole banish and play for instance using Scrap Compactor. Where is it? There's one of them. Where's one of them? There, they're all here. Oh, against Ira. I think we want to get equipment out, so we want to go first, right? And we just hope to draw into it. But yeah, Scrap Compactor allows us to play one instantly, right? If we use it to defend it, it goes into a graveyard. Scrap Compactor allows us to scrap it, put it into a banish zone, right? Which we can play as a Professor, and then we can play at instant speed, circumventing the whole pay 3 extra for Professor Teklo, right? So I do think this is the easier way to do things. In fact, this is a great setup, right? Because I can equip one, I can then Arsenal Scrap Compactor, and I can use the other one to block. Right, so it's whether or not I like the legs or the arms more. I think I like the legs because the action points. So we'll do that, pitch that. It's fine, we overpitched. Oh well, Scrap Compactor into the Arsenal because it's something we want to play. Gorgarian Tome. Okay, so as long as we block with 3, the Zephyr Needle gets destroyed. Is greater than Zephyr Needle's destroy. So I assume defense reactions work with that, right? So the best thing to do, considering it's the second turn, is, and we're a very defensive deck, I'm going to completely overblock, right? I'm going to go as just nuts as I can to shut this down, right? So what reactions do they have? I'm pretty sure it's like a buff 3. So as long as I do 2 more blocks, which we want the other arm, and then probably Liquid Core Mayhem, right? They shouldn't be able to buff this enough to save it from breaking, if I've thought about that correctly. Yep. And then when this hits, you may pay 1 if you do choose blah, blah, blah. So we can't block that because we only have 3. So we let the 4 slide and we have to look for an ability we can actually shut down, right? So we have to use our blocks optimally. Now, if I didn't have Gorgarian Tome, obviously, I would overblock it again to shut it down, but we can't do that. So that's the first chain link that hit. So that's the other thing we have to watch for, is to make sure they don't get the 3rd chain link. Taken 5. So again, I don't want to block it, because we have to shut down the 3rd chain link. So we're just praying that the next attack, the last attack in the chain, is not buffed. Right, show us. Zephyr Needle or that. 3, perfect. Right, so we can shut it down, they don't get the proc, and we're all happy. It's fine. It's what we wanted to do. Now we can play Gorgarian Tome, Scrap Compactor, and hopefully we draw into something that allows us to equip the next piece, because that will also set us up more defensively for their combos. Why? I had a 3 on there anyway. Did I not? I had a 3. I had 2, 2, and a 3. Okay. I'm slightly confused about that. And also, I misread the card, right? Because it's not 1-to-1. So I didn't have to overblock it. Anyway. Okay, so then we're going to play the arms. Which unfortunately, because we have to pitch this, I'd rather block with it, so I get it into the graveyard. It's fine. Why did this not get destroyed? Zephyr Needle is defended by a card with greater than Zephyr Needle's power. Destroy Zephyr Needle when the combat chain closes. It was defended by 3. Why do they wanna? They want to block. No. This is request undo, where I will deny your request because, again, if I make mistakes, I'm going to let them slide. Really? That is the most unsportsmanship that I've seen in Flesh and Blood so far. Right? I mean, by all means, then I should reset to turn 1 and redo Zephyr Needle the way I want to do it then. So request undo, if you make a direct mistake, again, taking 1 damage, how is that a huge mistake? A mistake that is, if you who have set up it as request undo don't accept my request, I'm going to quit the game. Wow. Alright, I guess in this case I will find another game. Right, we're against Bravo. I still think we want to go first, because again, it's all about getting Evos on board so that we can defend with them. But Bravo is a bit tougher, right? Although we only have to shut down 1 attack, and also the Crippling Crush, Starstruck, none of them are really substantial to us in thinking about it. Okay, do I want to go for the heads or do I want to go for the legs? Legs are better to block with, right, because it's 3. So I probably want to equip the head, right? And then it's basically the same start as before. Scrap Compactor into the arsenal, and then we're trying to block with Steel Soul so that we get into the graveyard, and then we can use Scrap Compactor to play it, right? So we have 3, 2, we have 4, 7, 10, 13. So that's perfect, right? In fact, all I'm going to do is fully block it, because all we need to keep alive is Scrap Compactor and 3. So if I keep 1 blue, we're fine. That's 3. It has Dominate, doesn't it? Still, I want to get that into the graveyard. Discard random 2. So there's still a chance we get the blue. So it's fine. What made it have Dominate, by the way? This. Until the end of your turn. Okay. We're learning. Again, there's still a lot of interactions with matchups that I will miss or forget, right? Because there are so many heroes in this game to remember. Okay, so they do get the discard, but that's fine. We still got a blue, so I can still do what I want to do. So Scrap Compactor. Definitely get rid of that. Go for 3, that's fine. And we'll just play it at instant speed straight away, right? There's no reason not to. Well, actually, to make them think our hand is there many reactions in Mech? I don't think there are. So I'm just going to play it instantly. Pitch that. It's probably worth waiting and playing it after the combat chain, right? Okay, so we have a lot of Evos to block with, which is great. They're probably going... So usually Guardian is heavy attack, small attack setup, right? They don't really have the ability to bombard over and over again because they're looking for their seismic surge to buff up. So ideally, we don't have to get rid of all cards. I can keep 2 and block with 2. So it's hard to get a 3 because we don't have blue, right? So I need to keep one of the Sentry, and then I need to keep the blue. So I can block with Lead the Charge, Sentry Base or Sentry Legs, and then Steel Tower or the head. So this is at 1, and this is at 3. So that's 4 plus Lead the Charge is 6, right? Done. Then we'll see what their next attack is. Probably not worthwhile blocking Anthros with that much, right? Because again, it doesn't have an on-hit effect, so there's no huge point in fully blocking it. Whereas all the crush effects, we do want to get down to that 4 margin. Okay, but I was correct in thinking they didn't have anything. So they're setting up for a big Pulverize, which is obviously scary. So ideally, we don't have any more head block. The arm block is probably better at this point, right? But we only have 2. So I need to set up the chest. So we chest, get rid of that. And I guess we arsenal the piece looking for 3 blocks. Because Pulverize is definitely going to decimate us right now. So we've got, actually, Steel Street Enforcement is, what, 4 block? It's okay. It's not as great as it could be. But then 3, 3, and 3, so should be good. So Pulverize for 14. It's a hero, their first attack is 4, so that's not a big deal. It's whether or not they have the ability to, say, play Anthros, right? That is scary. So we can block with that. We can block with that. That's free, right? This doesn't get destroyed just yet. So it's whether or not we want to keep the arms and Steel Street, I guess, to play the arms. And we just block with War Machine and Terminate Tank for an extra 6 and we take 4. Right? Is that worthwhile? I can also play the... Yeah, no, it is, because I need to get more block up. Right? So we're just doing that. We're not fully blocking it, but we're still, blocking the majority of it. Because we don't care about the -4. That does nothing for us. Okay, Arsenal. Now we play the arms. Play with that. So I can't block with the legs. I can't block with the head. I still have 1 and 3. We have Singularity, which is a bit awful. Although we can go into it pretty soon. If only I had ways to go again. So I need to get this into the graveyard so I can Scrap Compact. Crippling Crush, though, is a nightmare for us at the moment. Did he use his ability? He did. So this getting discarded is fine. This getting discarded is not, right? That just messes everything up. So I can't block with it either. God. No, they've checkmated me because of Singularity, right? I can only block with 3 and 3 anyway, so it's only 6, so it's still at 5. We're literally one short. If I had the steel straight, that would have been perfect. So I need to block something, right? We do that and that. No, I can get to exactly 4, so that's still not good. I could get rid of the legs, but then that also screws us, right? Because then I can't go for Singularity anyway. Well, I mean, we still have the Fabricate, so I could, but getting to there is going to be worrisome. We take the damage and we hope, I suppose, that we keep Singularity. And then I just go for Singularity. Because the block off Singularity should be enough to help things out. It's a big gambit, though. That is not good. That's not good at all. So I can play the Steel... I can play the Sentry base, but I really want Scrap Compactor to go into Steel Soul. Yeah, that's very unfortunate for us. I get the action point as well, but that doesn't help us. I mean, I can go for Teklo Leveler of Singularity. We were so close to the correct roll. If we kept Singularity and Scrap Compactor, right? I Scrap Compactor into the processor, or even do that first, so I get the action point, and then play it at instant speed, get the resources. No, not play. God, now they've seen it too. That doesn't really matter. We've probably lost on this turn. What instance do they have? No, I think they're going, huh? What was that? Why? Oh god, and then we get the 2 best pieces to go into it. Right? We do that first. No, we still wouldn't have the resources. We literally have to survive 2 more turns, which is nigh impossible to get this done. I can leg Scrap Compactor chest. Right? Would be perfect. So it all depends on what they're doing this turn. I mean, they're set up for something. So we've most likely lost. I feel like I baited them by showing them Singularity accidentally. And they're thinking, huh? Does he want to get it off? What? What's going on? Okay, they're healing. No, they're pitching. Crippling Crush. See, I wouldn't care about taking the 10. But I can't get it low enough and still get off what I want to get off. Right? Scrap Compactor is free. We need 1 blue to pay for Steel Soul. But then we also need 1 blue to pay for the chess piece. So I need to keep both cards, which we just don't have the HP for at the moment. I need to block with Scrap Compactor to get this done. Which means I need to block with that as well, and we're just going for 2 turns, right? We're just getting into our bash zone. Yeah. Should have maybe kept the chest, actually, I'm thinking about it, because the chest is more impactful for Singularity than the action points. But at least we're set up if we find another Scrap Compactor. It's not looking good. I mean, I should be pressuring at this point too, because these are free. But we really want the go again off Singularity. Yeah. So that's a problem. Because ideally, I just want to go into Singularity. But I need to keep 2 blues, which means I can only block with a 2 and a 3. That's... well, it's not horrible. Right? And then we just keep the... no, but our first turn's just going to suck. That's the only issue. Because we don't have any resources, because we really need the chest slot to get Singularity done. And we might as well... no, they got the pummel. Should have overblocked. But, well, no. Either way, it was game, because my only option was to go into Singularity off that turn. Ooh. That was definitely a tough match, right? The one Crippling Crush, definitely... if we just rolled the Scrap Compactor, would have changed the whole tone. I don't think we would have won still, right? Because it's still very much an uphill battle, but would have definitely changed the tone. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. We will get it sooner or later, right? And we're getting closer. It's a good defensive deck. we just a little bit of a way to disrupt your opponent's hand, right? If there were more blocks that forced discard, would make turtling decks a lot more viable, right? Just a generic, I don't know what, if the X has essentially the traps that Riptide have, right? But in the generic slot, would make a lot more combos viable, because again, just turtling does never win, right? Just as bad as that sentence was. All it does is prolong the inevitable, because again, your opponent is doing efficient things, while you're putting in a lot more work for not enough payoff, in all honesty, right? For any combo deck at this current iteration of Flesh and Blood. Again, there are ways to make them viable. It just depends on the generic support, or I guess even class-specific support, right? If there were ways to get this out of your graveyard, or play it from your banishment, right? If Singularity was an Evo, that would be fine, right? That would have been enough to make this card usable, because you don't care if A, you boost it, so I can run boost, or B, right? Again, if you scrap it from the graveyard, so you can block with it, or you can discard it, and if it's in the banish zone, you can play it, right? Even if you had to pay the extra 3 as Teklovossen, at least then it would be usable, rather than this little one of a card, right, because it's legendary, that you have to hold on to, and you have to protect as this golden egg, right, if that is what you're going for. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See ya.